Chloe, my childhood best friend and a famous actress, told Liam that she'd say yes if he ever asked her out. After 10 years of internal debate, Liam finally blurted out, "I love you." But after sending that text, Liam stood on the roof of a skyscraper and jumped without hesitation, unafraid of death. For Liam, death was routine. He was trapped in August 25, 2023. By now, Liam had relived that day 299,999 times. His emotions were completely numb. He was still falling when his phone vibrated in his hand. "Where are you?" The message startled him. In all those hundreds of thousands of repetitions, he'd confessed to Chloe countless times. Sometimes she teased, sometimes she joked, but only this time did she ask where he was. Liam didn't care, he was about to hit the ground. "Where am I?" Liam laughed bitterly. "I'm in hell. I'm in a cage." Sometime later, an ear-splitting alarm clock went off. Liam instinctively reached out to turn it off. Because the day repeated, he couldn't disable it beforehand. At 6 a.m., Liam was always woken up. For a while, he'd wondered why he'd been so inspired on August 25 to set an alarm at this time, but today, as his hand reached out, Liam froze. He didn't touch the nightstand or feel his phone. How was this possible? He'd done this routine 299,999 times. Even with his eyes closed, he couldn't be wrong. He opened his eyes and sat up in shock. The scene before him made Liam gasp. He was in a hospital room. He frantically looked at his phone. The time was 6 a.m., and the date was August 26, 2023. Tears streamed down his face. He was finally free from the cage that had held him for over 800 years. But he wasn't sure if today would just repeat again. Calming down, Liam noticed someone asleep by his bedside. It was Chloe, his childhood friend. Chloe was having a nightmare. She dreamed Liam had died, and this time, he died right in front of her. Because Chloe had already lived through it once. Back in high school, Chloe was selected as an actress, becoming the rising star she was today. From then on, she gradually lost touch with Liam. On August 25, 2023, in the previous lifetime, Chloe had just wrapped up a movie shoot. During her holiday, she returned to her hometown in Chicago, wanting to surprise Liam. But that night, she received news of Liam's suicide. From that day on, Chloe became quiet and withdrawn. No matter how rich her emotions were or how smooth her performance, once she left the set, she turned as cold as ice. Only when visiting Liam's grave would she murmur a few words to herself. 10 years later, Chloe stood on the Oscar stage. Her acceptance speech was only a few sentences. "I once promised my love that I would become the most famous actress in the world. Now I've done it, and I can finally see him." That night, Chloe jumped from the stage, but when she opened her eyes, she realized she had been reborn, back on the night of August 25, 2023, the night Liam died in her previous life. However, before Chloe could fully recover from her rebirth, she received a text from Liam, "Chloe, I love you." Chloe felt something was wrong and quickly replied, asking where he was, but received no response. Panicked that Liam would leave her again, Chloe rushed out of the skyscraper, wanting to find Liam. But she discovered that right in front of the building, Liam was lying motionless on the ground, unharmed. Chloe quickly took the unconscious Liam to the hospital, staying by his side until she fell asleep. Suddenly, Chloe felt someone touch her head, startling her awake. Chloe opened her eyes, and the first thing she saw was Liam awake and sitting on the bed. Instantly, the tears she'd suppressed for 5 years streamed down her face. "You're alive. You're alive." Chloe lunged into Liam's arms, sobbing like a child. But Liam was stunned because he'd never seen the tomboyish Chloe in front of him so vulnerable and emotional. Not knowing Chloe had been reborn, Liam just thought she was too worried about him. He hugged the sobbing Chloe tightly. "Why are you crying? That's not like my Chloe." "I'm fine, so don't cry." "It's okay." Actually, Liam wanted to cry. In those 300,000 repetitions, he'd confessed to Chloe countless times. Chloe had once told him she wanted to travel the world, and he'd agreed. She wanted to go to Disneyland, and he'd agreed. She wanted to have a baby girl in the future, and he'd still agreed. Chloe had made countless requests with a dreamy look on her face, but he hadn't fulfilled any of those promises because no matter how much progress he and Chloe made one day, everything would return to zero the next. Liam simply couldn't stay with Chloe until they were old. This feeling of helplessness was like 1,000 knives stabbing his heart. Liam buried his face in Chloe's fragrant hair and whispered in her ear, "Chloe, I love you." Chloe cried loudly, and Liam spoke very softly, so softly that Chloe didn't hear him clearly. She looked up at him with a tear-streaked face. "What did you say?" "I said, you cry like a girl." Liam wiped away her tears. Teased by him, Chloe gradually calmed down. She pushed Liam away, glaring at him. "You're the one who looks like a girl." "I'm Chloe, and I don't cry. I just got something in my eye, got it?" Okay. Liam smiled dotingly and ruffled Chloe's hair. Chloe felt like something was off with Liam. In her memory, Liam was a boy who always followed her around. He was gentle and obedient, even a little timid, always relying on Chloe to protect him. That's why she had the nickname Chloe. And now, Liam dared to ruffle her hair? Could it be that he'd damaged his brain while unconscious last night? "No, I need to find a doctor to examine him," Chloe said, about to go outside. Liam quickly stopped her. "I know my own body. I'm definitely fine now." "Fine? Then what were you doing lying in front of the skyscraper last night?" "You were lying there as still as a corpse. I don't believe you were just passing by and suddenly fainted there." Chloe's question made Liam frown. In front of the skyscraper? But he clearly jumped off the building last night. Why did he end up lying there peacefully? Liam thought for a moment but couldn't figure it out. He decided not to think about it anymore. What had happened to him was strange enough already, one more thing wouldn't make a difference. But in the end, Liam was still forced by Chloe to go for a checkup. The results showed he was very healthy, and his brain was fine too. For some reason, Liam felt like Chloe looked a little disappointed. "Your brain is fine? You seem disappointed?" Liam asked with a smile. "Yeah, I was hoping you'd be in a coma and your brain would become smarter." "What a shame." Although Liam felt a little uncomfortable, he still smiled. The 300,000 repetitions had made his emotions callous, even numb. Only when he was with Chloe did he feel like a normal person. "Hey, isn't that Chloe? Who's the guy next to her? He's handsome. Boyfriend? Quick, take a picture." As Liam and Chloe were about to be discharged from the hospital, some young people were pointing at them. Chloe just remembered that she forgot to wear sunglasses and a mask. Both of them were in college now, but back in high school Chloe had become famous for acting in a few movies. In recent years, she was considered a second-tier star and had some fame among young people. Seeing those people pointing, Liam thought for a moment and decided to keep his distance from Chloe, pretending to be a stranger. Chloe valued her reputation, and she'd once seriously promised him that she would become the most famous actress. For that goal, Chloe was always working hard. But in the long-time loop, Liam had realized that loving someone wasn't about holding them tightly in your hands all the time, but about letting them be happy and do what they wanted. So if Chloe just wanted to focus on being a star right now, he was willing to be patient. But as Liam was about to step back, Chloe took a step forward, tilted her head, and whispered, "Hey, what you texted last night, were you serious, or were you just emotional?" Liam froze, suddenly understanding. He hesitated for a moment and then said, "If you accept it, then I'm serious. If you don't want to accept it, then just pretend I never." Liam stopped because Chloe had very toughly grabbed his hand and put it on her shoulder, then turned to the people who were standing there frozen and said loudly, "For all of you gossipers, let me introduce you to my boyfriend, Liam." Liam was stunned. Was this really Chloe, who always valued public opinion and had to be sneaky when she went out with him, like she was going to steal? Even in those 300,000 repetitions, he had never seen Chloe like this. What are you still standing there for? Are you waiting to be photographed? Run. Chloe, who was smiling brightly, suddenly pulled Liam and ran out. The people around them also suddenly realized they had discovered some hot news. They screamed and chased after them with their phones, taking pictures frantically. But when they chased them out of the hospital, they were stunned. There was no sign of Chloe and Liam on the street. Hot, little flower Chloe exposed dating photos. Chloe caught entering and leaving the hospital with an unfamiliar man. Did Chloe go to the hospital to have an abortion? As Liam and Chloe, panting for breath, hid in an alley and took out their phones to check, wow, there are already several hashtags in the top 50 trending. Chloe, still catching her breath, patted Liam's shoulder proudly. My Chloe is so hot. It's only been 2.5 minutes, and I'm already on the hot search list. Liam patted her head dotingly. Yes, my Chloe is the best. But Chloe, do you want to take a call from your manager? Chloe just noticed that there was a missed call on her phone from Agent Lin, her manager. Chloe's expression immediately froze. Her hand shook as she pressed the answer button, turned on the speakerphone, and said softly, "Hello? Hello, you little brat. Chloe, what are you doing? Didn't you ask for a leave to go back to Chicago to visit relatives? What's with that hot search?" Seeing Chloe's flustered expression, Liam couldn't help but laugh. This girl was still so afraid of Agent Lin. Visiting my husband is also visiting relatives. Who is your husband? What nonsense are you talking about? When did you get married? Chloe was silent for a moment, glanced at Liam, and then spoke into the phone. I know you might not believe it, but I'm getting married in an hour. I'll talk to you later. I'm busy, bye. Then she immediately hung up the phone and blocked Agent Lin's number. After finishing, Chloe breathed a sigh of relief, wiped the sweat from her forehead, and turned to look at Liam. Is your household registration book at your apartment? What for? Liam asked in confusion. To register our marriage. Did you think I was joking? Today, Weibo was quite lively. Pictures of little flower Chloe being caught with an unfamiliar man entering and leaving the hospital were posted early in the morning, causing a public uproar. Chloe had almost no scandals, and her image was clean, so the news shocked the entire internet. At this moment, at the Chicago Civil Affairs Bureau, the two main characters of the hot search, Liam and Chloe, had just registered their marriage. After leaving the Civil Affairs Bureau, Chloe took off her mask and sunglasses and raised the red marriage certificate in her hand. She twisted and turned the certificate under the sunlight, as if she were looking at a treasure, and then laughed happily. It feels like I'm dreaming. Liam also smiled. He didn't expect that after he escaped the time loop, Chloe would be so proactive. Chloe, who had always valued her fans and traffic, not only made their relationship public today but also directly dragged him to register their marriage. This made Liam feel a little regretful. After experiencing 300,000 repetitions, he thought he should be more proactive, but he didn't expect Chloe to be even more proactive than him. That won't do. This isn't right. Liam moved closer to Chloe and lowered his voice to ask, Chloe, what are your plans after registering our marriage? He wanted to invite Chloe on a date. At this time, Chloe was posting on Weibo. Hearing him ask, she replied seriously, my plan is to run away. Look at my Weibo yourself. Liam took out his phone and opened Chloe's Weibo. He immediately saw the first pinned post. Seeing that there are rumors on the internet that I have a boyfriend, please note that it's not a rumor. The posting time was 1 minute ago, accompanied by a photo of the marriage certificate in Chloe's hand. Liam suddenly wondered if Chloe was being emotional. She was so bold today. As for Chloe, she was muttering, counting down, 4, 3, 2. Just as she finished speaking, the phone in her hand rang. It was a strange number. Chloe trembled and pressed the answer button. Chloe, are you crazy? Explain it to me clearly right now. And you dare to hang up on me? I'll bring a knife to your house and chop you up. Although the speakerphone wasn't turned on, Agent Lin's loud voice still reached Liam's ears. Chloe held the phone away and explained, "What is there to explain? I just went to register our marriage with my boyfriend, didn't I tell you?" "Chloe, you want to infuriate me to death, don't you? I just found a reason to write a PR article to clarify, and the article isn't even finished yet, and you've already done this. Do you know how much of an impact this has on the company and yourself if you make decisions on your own? Chloe told me the truth about who it's getting married to that. Is it some rich young master? Why did you suddenly get married so fast?" Chloe glanced at Liam, hesitated for a moment, and then replied, "Not exactly a rich young master. Moreover, we didn't get married suddenly. I've been thinking about it for a long time." Yes, she had been thinking about it for a lifetime. Thinking about it for a long time? Then why didn't you tell me? Agent Lin started to roar again. After a while, Agent Lin calmed down. "Chloe, I'm telling you, although I want to stand by you, don't forget that you signed a contract with the company. You making such a big deal on your own, according to the contract, the company has the right to demand contract compensation. The board of directors is discussing this matter." Hearing about the contract compensation, Chloe was startled. "Oh no. I was too excited just now, and I only thought about registering our marriage with Liam. I forgot about the contract with the company and the fine." In her previous life, after Liam passed away, she remained silent for a year and then left the company to develop her career on her own. Her manager was still Agent Lin. Because she had been operating independently for nearly 10 years, she could do whatever she wanted. So Chloe really forgot that she was still an employee of the company. If the company didn't know and a scandal occurred that seriously affected her image, then according to the contract, she would have to pay compensation. "It's over. This time I'm really done for." Chloe wasn't the best actress of her previous life. The little savings she had now were definitely not enough to pay the fine. "Agent Lin, is there any way not to pay compensation?" Chloe asked. "If you don't want to pay compensation, you have to think of a way to suppress the scandal. You also know what the company's board of directors is like. Unless you think of a way to suppress the scandal, then you're doomed." Agent Lin spoke so loudly that Liam, who was sitting next to her, also heard her. Seeing Chloe's expression, he knew that this girl was too excited just now and had completely forgotten about the company and the fine. Liam sighed and suddenly snatched the phone from Chloe's hand. "Agent Lin, it's Liam, Chloe's husband. I have a way to help Chloe resolve this situation, but I need your support." Chloe and Agent Lin were both stunned. Chloe knew Liam was an outsider who didn't understand the industry, and even Agent Lin couldn't solve this, but he had a way? Chloe immediately perked up her ears to listen, but Liam walked a little further away. Chloe followed. She was the boss, and he was just a subordinate. How could a subordinate have private conversations that the boss couldn't hear? The faster she chased, the faster Liam walked away. When she slowed down, he slowed down too. Liam was determined not to let her eavesdrop. Finally, Chloe stamped her foot. "Liam, turn on the speakerphone." Liam obediently turned on the speakerphone. Chloe triumphantly thought, "This boy still doesn't dare to disobey me." In the end, he still had to let her eavesdrop. But immediately after, she heard Agent Lin roar on the phone, "I'm talking seriously to your husband. Get out of here and don't eavesdrop, or I'll chop you up." Chloe could only sit dejectedly on the ground, drawing circles with her finger. Liam dared to snitch. After lecturing Chloe, Liam turned off the speakerphone, took the phone, walked away, and continued, "The plan is roughly what I just said. Agent Lin, what do you think?" Agent Lin seemed quite satisfied, and her tone softened. "Although it's a bit complicated, at least it can explain Chloe's marriage certificate. After all, Chloe is a star of the company. As long as there's a way to suppress the scandal, the company will definitely not pursue the fine. But, I have to ask, are you really not an industry insider? How do you understand these things so well?" "I'm not an industry insider. I just understand things related to Chloe very well." Okay, stop showing your love. Then let's go with this plan. I'll report it to the company and contact the cooperation and PR departments. You just follow the plan. After hanging up, Liam walked over to Chloe, who was sitting squatting, drawing circles. He gave the phone back to her. Chloe looked up at him, took the phone, and Liam turned to walk away, but Chloe was still sitting. Chloe, don't be mad anymore. You'll know what the plan is later. I'm not mad, Chloe said softly. Then why aren't you getting up? My legs are numb. Liam was speechless. In the end, he carried Chloe away from the Civil Affairs Bureau. The Civil Affairs Bureau wasn't far from their house, so Liam didn't call a cab and just carried Chloe on his back for the walk. Chloe, as a star, managed her figure very well, so Liam didn't feel tired carrying her. He just felt that the soft, fragrant girl leaning on his back was very comfortable. Chloe was browsing on her phone when she saw the plan that Liam and Agent Lin had discussed. In just over 10 minutes, the new hashtags had surpassed Chloe's hot search and climbed to the top spot. Sharp-eyed netizens can also see that someone is spending money to buy hot searches. Dating show Dating Today announces lineup. Chloe confirmed to participate. Chloe's marriage certificate allegedly a PR stunt for new show. Chloe blinked, and Liam began to explain the plan to her. The dating show Dating Today is an online reality show with 8 stars, 4 male and 4 female, participating in matchmaking. The show hasn't officially announced the lineup, but the list of guests circulating online is pretty accurate. The production cost seems to be tight. Among the 8 guests, 6 have already been confirmed, but a suitable couple hasn't been found yet. They invited me to participate, but because the show isn't very popular and my pay is a bit high, the production team can't afford it, so Agent Lin hasn't responded to them yet. The plan is for me to sign a contract with Agent Lin's company, and then Chloe and I will participate in this show together. I'm also the person the show's team wants to invite. As long as Agent Lin agrees to let Chloe participate, adding another person to go with her, the production team definitely won't have any objections. That way, the paparazzi photos from today, along with the marriage certificate, can all be explained as a PR stunt for the new show. Chloe's scandal will also die down, and at least the company won't pursue the fine. After all, now, promotion is also within the scope of an artist's normal work. Chloe, lying on Liam's back, was shocked. You want to be an artist? Liam, you're great. I told you that your face is very photogenic. If you had debuted earlier, you would have been famous already. Liam smiled helplessly. To keep my wife from having to sell the house to pay off debts, I had to sell myself. Chloe giggled. You have to say that you're getting famous thanks to me. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know which way to debut. Yes, thank you, Chloe, for giving me this opportunity. As the news spread, most netizens believed that Chloe posting the marriage certificate was just a PR stunt for the new show. Agent Lin also texted Liam, saying that the scandal had been suppressed. It had even attracted a decent number of new fans, so the company decided not to pursue the fine. Chloe finally didn't have to sell the house to pay off debts. Chloe breathed a sigh of relief. She secretly thought that she must operate independently in the future. Working under a company was too restrictive. She couldn't even make her boyfriend public. In the future, when she was independent, she would definitely post lots of photos with Liam on her Weibo. Chloe blinked and suddenly reached out and pulled Liam's hair. Hey, Liam, what's going on? You're not an industry insider, why can you think of this way to help me solve the problem? I don't really understand those things in the entertainment industry, so I only gave a few ideas. The specific details were all decided by Agent Lin, Liam replied honestly. Chloe looked at him suspiciously. Her intuition told her that he didn't seem to be telling the truth. But Liam really wasn't telling the truth. He didn't just provide Agent Lin with a complete plan, he also understood everything in the entertainment industry, especially things related to Chloe. During the long time loop, he had watched countless times the news about her, the situation of Chloe's company, and the situation of Agent Lin. All the information about her in the entertainment industry, he knew it all like the back of his hand. Looking up at the sky, Liam couldn't help but smile. In those repetitions, to stay sane and to not let himself collapse, he had forced himself to learn all kinds of knowledge. Now, he had mastered many skills and held no small number of secrets that ordinary people could not know. Actually, if he wanted to, Liam had many ways to quietly resolve Chloe's scandal. He had even investigated the earth-shattering secrets of the boss of Azure Feather Entertainment. Just based on those secrets, he could call one phone call, and not only would Azure Feather Entertainment not pursue the fine, but they would also have to beg him to accept money to shut him up. The choice to debut as an artist with Chloe and participate in the dating show actually stemmed from Liam's own intentions. Before, Chloe was always the proactive one. Now, it was his turn to be proactive. Only when they arrived home did Chloe jump off Liam's back. Seeing him rubbing his shoulders, she asked, "What? Am I that heavy?" "You're heavy," Liam nodded honestly. Chloe immediately glared, raised her hand to hit him, but Liam quickly backed away, laughing. "If you weren't heavy, how could your position in my heart be so important?" The star blushed. "You just crawled out from under the ground, right? So corny." "I'm hungry. Order takeout." "I'm going upstairs to rest for a bit," Chloe said, hurriedly running upstairs and slamming the door shut. Chloe fell face down on the bed, still blushing. That Liam, he was so gentle before, where did he learn those cheesy lines from? Chloe buried her head in the pillow. After a while, she quietly looked up. Ever since Liam texted her last night, she had felt that after her rebirth, his personality seemed to have changed as well. Before, Liam was a bit silly, but now, not only was he more proactive, but he was also smarter. His tongue was also much smoother. Thinking of this, Chloe blushed again. She took out the red marriage certificate she had just received from her bag. Looking at the picture of the two of them on the red background, Chloe buried her face in the pillow again. "Chloe, you're the one who was reborn. Why are you acting like a teenage girl?" At this time, Liam was buying potatoes and green peppers. Chloe told him to order takeout, but he couldn't bear to let his wife eat takeout for her first meal after rebirth. He wanted to cook for Chloe himself. In those endless, repeating days, he had also taught himself how to cook. From Chinese cuisine to European cuisine to Japanese and Korean cuisine, from high-end Michelin dishes to simple scrambled eggs with tomatoes, Liam didn't dare to say he was proficient in everything, but he had mastered quite a few dishes. He had even gone to the supermarket near the house and spent almost all of his savings, buying ingredients, going back to the villa, cleaning the kitchen, and starting to cook. Liam, of course, knew Chloe's preferences. Sweet and sour ribs and sweet and sour pork were her favorite dishes, but because she had to manage her figure under Agent Lynn's strict management, Chloe rarely got to eat such greasy and sweet dishes. Liam specially made sweet and sour ribs for Chloe, added a few light vegetable dishes, and simmered a pot of soup. About half an hour later, Chloe smelled a fragrant smell and came downstairs. Having just woken up, she rubbed her eyes, yawned, and said, "Liam, the takeout is here? It smells so good." Then she saw Liam was busy in the kitchen. Chloe was immediately frightened. "Liam, you're in the kitchen again? Be careful you blow up the kitchen." Chloe hurriedly rushed into the kitchen. This wasn't a joke. That year, when Liam first wanted to cook for her, his soy sauce fried rice was so sour that no one could swallow it. Sour was okay, but he forgot to turn off the stove and ran to get his phone to check the recipe. By the time he was done looking up and turned back, the bottom of the pot was about to burn. Cooking over high heat, the sour smell of vinegar and the smell of burning spread throughout the room. Chloe and him had to order takeout, and when the delivery guy came, he smelled the smell in the house and almost fainted. Liam knew that Chloe was recalling his dark past. He coughed awkwardly. "My cooking skills have improved now. Don't you think the smell is very enticing?" A few minutes later, when Liam brought out a plate of sweet and sour ribs, a plate of crispy fried eggplant, and a plate of stewed eggplant with potatoes, placing them in front of Chloe, she looked at him with surprised eyes, as if she was looking at an alien. Liam gave her chopsticks and said, "Try the ribs. It's delicious. I'm still simmering soup in the kitchen. I'll get it here." Chloe took the chopsticks, still stunned. When Liam brought the pot of soup to the table, he saw that Chloe was trembling, gnawing on a rib that had been cleaned of all the meat. "Liam, I want to cry," Chloe said, holding the rib, her eyes twinkling as she looked at him. "It's so delicious. In the future, whatever you want to eat, just tell me. I'll cook it for you every day." "Cook every day?" Chloe suddenly blushed. That's right, Liam wasn't just her best friend anymore. The two of them were legally husband and wife and would be living together in the future. "Do you know how to make braised pork?" "Tomorrow, I want to eat braised pork," Chloe began to order. "Okay, no problem." Liam agreed immediately. Chloe smiled brightly. "On the condition that you're not afraid of Agent Lin coming to find you." Chloe cried. After eating, Liam cleaned the dishes in the kitchen. Chloe, feeling full, was walking around the room when she heard the clanging in the kitchen. She thought to herself, recalling her mother's words, the family needs both husband and wife to maintain it together. If everything is left to one person, the family will become very fragile, like me and your father. Your father cooks, and I do the dishes. Now, Liam and I are also husband and wife. He cooks, so I should do the dishes. Thinking this way, Chloe stepped into the kitchen. "Let me wash the dishes for you, okay?" "No need. You should rest," Liam said with a smile. "In the future, these chores are for me to do." "You're Chloe, how can I trouble you with these little things?" "No," Chloe said seriously. "The family is maintained by both people. How can I let you do everything? Moreover, I'm the boss, so I have to set an example. How can I let my subordinate do everything?" After speaking, Chloe squeezed next to Liam and dipped her hands into the sink. Liam had to make way for her. After finishing cleaning, Chloe still felt a little full, so she invited Liam to go for a walk. Liam, of course, agreed. As long as he could be with Chloe, he would do anything happily. So, Chloe dragged him to walk around the neighborhood. As she walked, she asked, "Liam, when did your cooking skills get so good? I'm sure your sweet and sour ribs are better than any restaurant I've ever eaten at." "I taught myself in my free time. Because someone told me that she really liked to eat sweet and sour ribs, so I specially researched it for a long time," Liam replied. Chloe lowered her head, her heart trembling slightly. Besides herself, who else could that person be? She didn't expect him to learn to cook for her. But before she could be happy, she heard Liam continue, "Do you think it's delicious? If even you think it's delicious, then I can rest assured to cook it for that person." Chloe immediately raised her head, glaring at him. "So, this sweet and sour rib was not learned for me?" She grabbed Liam's collar. "Who did you learn to cook for? Is there someone else in your heart? Do you see me as a backup plan?" As she said this, tears were about to well up. Liam quickly raised his hands in surrender. "Chloe, I'm just kidding. Don't believe it." Chloe huffed. "Tell me the truth. Why did you suddenly confess to me last night? Were you excited about something?" Chloe asked seriously. She always felt very strange. Having played together for so many years, she had never heard Liam confess. He had always avoided this topic. Why was he suddenly so enlightened last night? Liam was silent for a moment before replying. The Liam from before was a bit silly, but he wasn't really stupid. He always knew he liked Chloe. It was just that her parents didn't like him. Liam's parents lived in a small town in Chicago, running a small grocery store. Life wasn't wealthy, but it was okay. Chloe's parents, on the other hand, were successful businessmen in the town. Decades ago, their family was already much wealthier than his. Chloe's father and his father were classmates, and their relationship was quite good, but her parents always opposed Chloe playing with him. They thought he was tempting their daughter to go out and mess around. In fact, Chloe dragged him everywhere. Otherwise, she wouldn't have the nickname Chloe. When Chloe was in high school, she was selected to be an actress, acting in a few movies and becoming a star. The Chloe family became even richer, and the distance between the two families grew larger and larger. At that time, Liam had completely understood. He wanted to live with Chloe for the rest of his life, but the vast difference in family background made him feel inferior. Especially, Chloe's father had found him to talk to him. He warned him not to pay attention to his daughter. From then on, he deliberately didn't mention that he liked Chloe anymore, and he never confessed to her until he was trapped in those 300,000 repetitions. As he grew older, he realized that he loved Chloe and that the two of them had to be together. "I'm sorry, Chloe. My confession is a few years late." Liam turned his head to look into the distance, sighing softly. Chloe looked at him. "Liam, turn around and look at me." Confused, Liam turned his head and saw that Chloe had wrapped her arms around his neck and tiptoed to give him a light and sweet kiss on his cheek. Liam was stunned, while Chloe lowered her head in embarrassment. "I don't think your confession was late. I think it came at just the right time." Chloe felt that she would never forget the moment when she was reborn and saw the text, "Chloe, I love you," appear on her phone screen. Afterward, the two of them walked around the neighborhood for a while before deciding to go home. Ever since she took the initiative to kiss Liam, Chloe had suddenly become obedient, walking with her head down and not actively talking to him. Rarely seeing her so quiet, Liam found it a little amusing but also very touching. They were each other's first love, and Chloe had taken the initiative to kiss him to comfort him. She must have mustered all her courage. Liam suddenly felt very happy, but when they got home, Chloe was still a little shy. "I was too tired from taking care of you last night and didn't get much sleep. I only managed to nap for half an hour just now. I'm so sleepy. I want to go upstairs and sleep more." After saying this, Chloe blushed and was about to sneak away, but after taking 2 steps, she felt a little bad about leaving Liam alone in the living room. After thinking for a while, she said, "Or, you can come up and rest with me." "Sleep in the same bed?" Liam blurted out. Chloe blushed and glared at him. "It's up to you. There's also a study upstairs with a sofa and a computer." After saying this, she ran to her room, while Liam quietly went to the study next door, sat down in front of the computer, turned it on, and took out his phone to call Agent Lin. "Hey, things have been resolved." Coincidentally, a big scandal broke out in the entertainment industry this afternoon. A top male star was accused by his ex-girlfriend, which attracted all the attention. The dating show Dating Today or Chloe were hardly mentioned anymore. The company also didn't pursue Chloe's fine anymore. Liam frowned. Was it that coincidental? As soon as Chloe caused trouble, a top male star came out to take the blame. But still, this was a good thing. But because he was a rookie who had just debuted and was participating in a dating show with Chloe, there were antis who bought dirty articles spreading rumors that he was having an affair with the boss of Azure Feather Entertainment. Liam just smiled and didn't care. Seeing that he didn't care, Agent Lin didn't mention this matter anymore but switched to another topic. "Hey, what's going on with you and Chloe? Chloe never told me she had a boyfriend. Why did you two suddenly register your marriage today? We've known each other since we were little. We're childhood sweethearts, so it's not exactly a shotgun wedding. It's just a little sudden. I'm really sorry for causing you trouble," Liam said sincerely. "Thank you, Agent Lin, for taking care of Chloe during this time. Without your help, Chloe definitely wouldn't be as famous as she is today." This wasn't just polite talk. During the time loop, Liam had investigated everyone around Chloe, and of course, Agent Lin wasn't an exception. He discovered that although Agent Lin often scolded Chloe, she actually cared about and supported her very much. All the resources that she could give were all given to Chloe. It could be said that Chloe was able to stand firm at Azure Feather Entertainment until today entirely thanks to Agent Lin. Liam sincerely thanked her. The other end of the line was silent for a moment. Liam seemed to hear Agent Lin sniff, and then she laughed loudly. What's with the formalities? This is the responsibility of the manager. Speaking of which, you're also my artist now. Rest assured, I will back you up. You're much more sensible than that heartless Chloe. Liam smiled. The two of them talked for a few more sentences, and then he hung up. Looking at the computer on the desk, Liam decided to go on Weibo to see which top male star was kind enough to take the blame for Chloe. But when he clicked on the search box and saw a series of search history, he was speechless. How to pursue a boy. How to make a boy love you. How to make a boy confess to you. If my childhood sweetheart doesn't like me, is it because I'm ugly? After scrolling through, Liam only saw one search term that wasn't related to the rest. Is Chloe beautiful? Liam sighed and rubbed his temples. It seemed that he had confessed too late. Otherwise, Chloe wouldn't have had to search for these things. He clicked and opened the search term "Is Chloe beautiful?" and then clicked on the first result. He scrolled through it, and many people praised Chloe for being beautiful. Although she wasn't a top star or a superstar, her looks were not inferior to the top stars. She just lacked a little experience and time in the industry. Suddenly, an answer caught Liam's attention. What's so beautiful about Chloe? Don't you guys know? She's a product of plastic surgery. It was accompanied by a few photos, and the person in the photos was indeed Chloe, but it was clear that they had been photoshopped. Chloe had been naturally beautiful since she was young. From elementary school to college, she was almost always the class flower or the school flower. But in the photos, she was edited to be dark and fat. Liam looked at the post date, and it turned out to be today. It seemed that today Chloe was too hot, and because the initial public opinion was unfavorable to her, the antis bought someone to spread rumors and smear her. Liam narrowed his eyes. There really were all kinds of disgusting people in this world. He typed on the keyboard. In the past, Liam had spent a lot of time studying computers. In other words, hacking technology. In just a few minutes, he had found the account of this anonymous user, along with their phone number, real name, ID card. All their personal information was exposed. Liam took out his phone and called the phone number displayed on the screen. "Hello, I want to talk to you," Liam said in a low voice. Lu Cun's mood at this time was mixed with joy and disappointment. Lu Cun was a PR specialist, to put it bluntly, someone who worked with malicious intent. Today, all the defamatory information about Liam and Chloe was spread by him, but Liam had perfectly resolved everything. He was clutching his head, looking annoyed. Suddenly, the phone on the table rang. "Hello? Who is this?" "I want to talk to you." Lu Cun frowned. "Are you talking to me? Who are you?" "I'm asking, who are you?" "I want to talk to you." "Are you sick? If you have something to say it quickly, or get lost." The other end of the line seemed to laugh. Lu Cun, male, 28 years old, graduated from the Department of Visual Communication of Yangqing University, currently living in room 203, building 3, Prosperity Residential Area, Heiyue Road, Pingqing City. Lu Cun's expression immediately changed. "Who are you? Do I know you? Let me tell you, don't mess around. Tell me who you are or don't force me to do things to you." Doing this job made people easily offended. People's most feared thing was to have people come to their door. Now, hearing the other party say his real name and address, Lu Cun was immediately terrified, but the other end of the line continued. "Your ID number is 131. You work at Black Feather Studio, specializing in dirty PR. In 2016, you just entered the industry. In the second year, because you accepted money to smear a new female star, you fabricated many false rumors, causing her to be attacked online, and ultimately she committed suicide. You didn't regret it at all. After a few years, you still continue to do this job, fabricating, framing, and smearing other people to make money. Am I right?" Lu Cun's face was pale. The other party didn't miss a single word. Who are you? What do you want to do? Do you want to use something from a few years ago to blackmail me?" Let me tell you that leaking someone's private information is illegal. Blackmail is also illegal. Then, you fabricated things that made someone commit suicide, isn't that illegal? At Chloe's villa, Liam looked at Lu Cun's deeds on the computer, his expression growing colder. In recent years, how many false reports have you spread? How many people have you harmed, ruining their reputation? Don't you know? You always tell your parents that you're teaching art at a center, right? They're so proud of you. What do you think they'll think if I send them the things you've done? Lu Cun completely lost his arrogance. What do you want? Do you want money or what? I'm just an employee of the studio. Why are you coming to me? What do you want? Liam narrowed his eyes. I don't need your money. My request is very simple. Delete the article smearing Chloe and publicly apologize on Weibo. Apologize to Chloe. Apologize to the girl you almost killed a few years ago. And apologize to all the people you framed and smeared in the past few years. Lu Cun was silent for a long time. A few minutes later, he said, I've deleted the post on JHU. I've also apologized on Weibo. See if you're satisfied? Liam didn't look at Weibo. He only glanced at the fabricated article on JHU, and it was indeed deleted. You're definitely not an industry insider. Lu Cun suddenly said, my resume in this industry can be considered clean. If you investigate those professional PR specialists, they're even more terrible than me. Although you're good and can force me to delete the article smearing Chloe, can you force everyone in this industry? I'm just a minion. Once Chloe becomes more famous, her haters will become even more numerous, and there will be even more PR specialists. Once you step into the entertainment industry, you have to accept being exploited and attacked. But, I don't like her being exploited and attacked like this. You're just a fan hired by her. Everyone is working for money. Don't think of yourself as being so noble. Chloe is not a princess, and you are not a knight protecting the princess. Liam was suddenly speechless. He's right. I'm not a knight. I'm her husband. After speaking, he hung up. Lu Cun stared blankly at the phone. Chloe slept until 5 p.m. before waking up. She really hadn't slept well last night, worrying about Liam. She didn't fall asleep until 5 a.m., and as a result, she was woken up by him at 6 a.m. It was like she had stayed up all night. After making up for her sleep, she finally regained her energy in the afternoon. She stretched and opened the bedroom door, intending to go downstairs, but suddenly remembered that Liam seemed to be resting in the study next door. Chloe rolled her eyes and tiptoed to the door of the study, gently placing her hand on the doorknob and peeking inside. She wanted to see what Liam was doing. As soon as she peeked through the crack in the door, she made eye contact with Liam, who was standing behind the door. Chloe was slightly flustered. I'm in trouble, I've been discovered. She was about to explain that she didn't mean to peek, but then suddenly thought, wait a minute, why am I afraid of him? He's my subordinate. This is my house. Now, he's also my husband and my property. Not only can I peek, but I can also look publicly. Thinking this, Chloe suddenly felt very righteous. She raised her eyebrows, glared at Liam and said, what are you looking at? Sneaking behind the door, trying to scare people? Liam was at a loss for words. Chloe was triumphant. This boy was still too inexperienced. How could he compare to a veteran who had been reborn? She pushed open the door and entered the study, glancing at the computer that was turned on. An idea suddenly popped into her head. She looked at Liam meaningfully and said, tell me the truth. What were you secretly doing in the study? While I was sleeping for so long, did you use my computer to watch things you shouldn't be watching to relieve your boredom? Chloe was the type of person who was better at talking than doing. Although she had to feel embarrassed for a long time to kiss Liam, when it came to saying provocative words, 9 cows couldn't pull her back. Hearing Chloe say this, Liam immediately confessed honestly. I really did watch something I shouldn't have watched. Chloe's eyes widened immediately, and her expression became unnatural. She really didn't expect Liam to not only watch those things but also dare to say it so blatantly. This boy was getting bolder and bolder. I thought you were very gentle. Turns out, men are all the same. Chloe pouted, glancing at the computer. Suddenly, she was curious to know what Liam had watched and what his preferences were. European and American? Or Japanese and Korean? But his next words made Chloe freeze. As a man, you go to watch How to Pursue Boys and How to Make a Boy Love You? He felt that his spirit was deeply wounded. Of course, he didn't intentionally watch them. He just happened to see the search history and clicked on it. Chloe, you won't blame me, right? Chloe froze from head to toe. She only remembered now that before officially dating Liam, she had searched for these things on the computer, and she seemed to have forgotten to delete the history due to carelessness. All of it was seen by him. Chloe only felt boundless shame. If the ground would crack open a crevice, she would crawl in right away. Seeing her lower her head, her toes rubbing together, Liam couldn't help but laugh, but on the outside, he still pretended to be serious and asked, Chloe, why aren't you saying anything? Are you blaming me for watching something I shouldn't have watched? Don't worry, no matter how much I watched, I still like women. I will forever be Chloe's person. After saying these words, Liam felt a little regretful. There was a saying that when things reach an extreme, they will turn back. And there was also a saying that a cornered dog will jump over a wall. His words had angered Chloe, forcing her to the end of her road. She blushed, raised her head, and glared at him. Liam, let me tell you, the thing about the search history, you're not allowed to mention it anymore. If you dare to say another word related to this matter, not only will you not be my person, but I will also make you a eunuch. After saying this, Chloe cracked her fingers, making cracking sounds. The wife was angry. Liam, of course, didn't dare to ask for too much after getting a little. Okay, I won't mention it anymore in the future. I'll pretend I never saw it, okay? Chloe didn't say anything, just stared at him. Gradually, her eyes reddened. At this time, Liam was really frightened. He only intended to tease Chloe a little. He didn't expect his Chloe to be so fragile. It was okay to be angry, but why cry? Liam quickly squatted down, sincerely apologizing. Chloe, don't cry. I really know I was wrong. I won't tease you about this matter anymore in the future, okay? If you're angry, then hit me a couple of times to vent. Or, let me tell you a joke to make you laugh. Before Liam could finish speaking, Chloe sniffled and interrupted him. I'm not crying because of that matter. I'm not that weak. Then, why are you crying? I just cracked my fingers too hard. Liam only noticed now that Chloe was holding the finger she had just cracked. He was speechless. At the living room of their home, Liam was using a bag of ice to compress Chloe's finger. Seeing that the swelling had lessened, he asked, How is it, Chloe? Does it still hurt? It doesn't hurt anymore, Chloe mumbled. It's all your fault. If you didn't mention those things, then my finger wouldn't hurt. Liam smiled bitterly. Yes, it's all my fault. Then, to make up for it, I'll cook 2 more dishes for you tonight, okay? What do you want to eat? Hearing about food, Chloe's eyes lit up. After sleeping all afternoon, the food in her stomach had been digested. Although she hadn't reached the point of starving, she was also a little hungry. Can you heat up the sweet and sour ribs and stir-fry some shrimp with cashews for me? Okay, but there are no cashews at home. So how about just stir-fried shrimp? There are no shrimp either, so go buy some. Chloe waved her hand, ordering Liam. Liam rubbed his hands, hesitated for a moment, and then said to Chloe, Buying shrimp is fine, but there's a technical problem that needs to be urgently solved. Chloe frowned. What problem? My salary from last month still hasn't been paid. I used all the money I had to buy groceries this morning. After speaking, Liam took out his phone and opened the QR code for payment. You can transfer as much or as little as you want. Chloe glanced at him. She thought it was something else, but it turned out to be a lack of money. Chloe, a rich young lady, was not short of money. She immediately transferred 1,000 yuan to him. Liam smiled. Carrying the money, Liam went out, specifically selecting some expensive ingredients at the supermarket, intending to make a lavish meal for Chloe. Meanwhile, Chloe, at home, was browsing her phone. She saw that on Weibo, most people were criticizing the top male star, few were mentioning her matter anymore. Chloe breathed a sigh of relief, this matter could be considered settled. As she was thinking, the phone suddenly rang. Seeing the caller ID, Chloe's eyes changed slightly. She answered the phone. "Hello, Dad." Chloe's father's deep voice came from the other end of the line. "Your mother said you went home this morning to get the household registration book." "Yes, for work," Chloe replied in a low voice. "Work? Just now, your second uncle told me that you posted a photo of your marriage certificate online for the company to promote a new show." "Your second uncle probably knows that, but everyone online knows?" Chloe's father's voice suddenly turned cold. "What's going on between you and that kid, Liam? Come home for dinner tonight, and we'll talk when you get home. I'll have the driver pick you up." After saying this, Chloe's father hung up. Hearing the beeping sound on the phone, Chloe's eyes flashed with sadness. Meanwhile, Liam was carrying large and small bags full of ingredients home, wondering what delicious dish he should cook for Chloe tonight when he received a message from her. "You don't need to come to the villa anymore. Eat dinner yourself. My dad told me to go home." Liam was stunned. He was about to text her back to ask what was going on when he saw the typing indicator appear very quickly. He received a second message from Chloe. "I'm sorry." Liam was confused. What's going on? At this time, a black car stopped in front of the Chloe family's house. The driver got out of the car, opened the rear door, and Chloe slowly stepped out of the car. She adjusted her clothes, took a deep breath, and walked into the house. The lights in the house were bright, but the atmosphere was very heavy. Chloe's father, David, and her mother, Sophia, were sitting silently on the sofa in the living room. "Mom, Dad, I'm back," Chloe said. Only then did the two of them look up at her but still didn't say anything. They got up and went to the dining room. Chloe followed, sitting in the seat that her parents had prepared for her. Suddenly, she felt a little wronged. From a young age, her parents always wanted to arrange everything for her, even the seat at the dinner table. Pouting, Chloe still sat down. None of the three moved their chopsticks, and no one spoke. They were silent and stifled for 10 minutes. David finally spoke. "Tell me, what's going on between you and Liam?" As expected, he was asking about this. On the way home, Chloe had guessed what her parents would ask and had prepared her answers. She said softly, "My manager thinks Liam has potential, so she signed a contract with him. Because he's a new debut, the company wants to promote him, so they arranged for me and him to participate in a dating show. The marriage certificate is just a prop for the show. So that's it. Why did you come home this morning to get the household registration book?" David stared at Chloe through his gold-rimmed glasses, seemingly able to see through all her lies. From a young age, Chloe had felt that David's eyes were very scary. Before, under those eyes, she had never been able to lie, but now it was different. She was no longer the Chloe of the past. She had been reborn from 10 years later and had experienced life, death, and was an Oscar-winning actress 10 years later. If she wanted to act, even David couldn't see through it. Chloe still maintained a calm expression and continued to speak in an even tone. "Because the show needs to check family information, I took the household registration book to give to Agent Lin to make a copy. If you don't believe me, you can call Agent Lin and ask." "I already asked." David narrowed his eyes. Chloe's hand, hidden under the table, suddenly clenched, but her expression remained unchanged. She continued, "Then you must know that I'm telling the truth." At this time, Chloe was really a little flustered. She hadn't had time to discuss it with Agent Lin. She didn't know what Agent Lin had told David, but she knew that she had to remain calm now. David looked at her for a while before looking away and said in a deep voice, "Eat your food." Chloe breathed a sigh of relief. David not asking any more meant that he believed her, or maybe he was just scaring her and hadn't asked Agent Lin at all. If she had revealed any flaws, she might have been discovered. David and Sophia picked up their chopsticks in succession. Only then did Chloe pick up a piece of food and put it in her mouth. The food was cold, even colder than the takeout she ate at the film set. Moreover, compared to the food cooked by Liam, the taste was really worlds apart. She ate a few bites to pretend that she ate. David spoke again, "Tell your manager to cancel that dating show. Your career is on the rise now. Moreover, you're still young. Film more when you have time. Participate less in miscellaneous variety shows," David said as he added more food to Chloe's plate, "especially. You're not allowed to participate in variety shows with random people." Chloe paused, raised her head, and looked at David. "If the person I'm working with isn't Liam but another star, would you agree?" David pushed up his glasses. "It depends on who it is. You're a star now. You have to pay attention to your image." Chloe smiled, put down her chopsticks, and shook her head. "Dad, this show was arranged by the company, and we've already signed a contract with the production team. If I don't participate or Liam doesn't participate, we both have to pay contract compensation, so it can't be cancelled. I know you always look down on Liam because you think his family isn't a good match for our family, but now Liam is also about to debut. With his appearance, I wouldn't dare say how famous he'll be in the future, but it definitely won't be bad. Shouldn't you drop your prejudice against him?" David also put down his chopsticks, looked at Chloe, and said in an even more serious tone, "Chloe, I know you like Liam, but I hope you understand that your mother and I don't want you to be with him. It's because we want what's best for you. What can he bring to you if he debuts? From the moment he debuted, he was already relying on you. In the future, he'll just be a bloodsucker to you. He can't bring you anything. I hope you find a better partner who can help you develop your career. For example, the sons of CEO Wang or CEO Sun that I introduced before, they were all more outstanding than Liam." Sophia, sitting next to him, also said, "Chloe, your dad is right. Your parents all hope that you can find a partner worthy of you who can bring you happiness and a future. Liam, that kid, is no longer from the same world as our family. Even if he debuts as an artist, he still can't compare to you. If this show really can't be cancelled, then so be it. It's arranged by the company anyway, but in the future, you have to stay away from Liam, understand?" "I always obediently listen to my parents." Chloe lowered her head and didn't say anything. Suddenly, she stood up, looked at David and Sophia, and said seriously, "Mom, Dad, I don't know why you're so sure that Liam can't bring me happiness, but I feel that as long as I'm with him, I'm already very happy. You will never know how long I've waited for him, and you will never understand the feelings between us. I've already decided that he's the person I'll spend the rest of my life with." David frowned. "How old are you? What do you know about love and happiness? How can you not know what you like or don't like?" "Why can't I know? I'm not little anymore." Chloe, who had never disobeyed David, suddenly interrupted him, causing David and Sophia to be stunned. Even Chloe herself was stunned. Her eyes reddened, she bit her lip, and after a while, she reached out to wipe her tears, her voice a little hoarse. "I'm sorry, Dad. I'm full. I'm going back first." After saying this, she turned and left. Sophia quickly chased after her. "Chloe, you haven't eaten much. Where are you going?" "Stay home tonight." David frowned, took off his glasses, rubbed his temples, and finally slammed his hand hard on the table. Chloe ran out of the house alone, wandering on the street. She knew tonight's dinner wouldn't be pleasant, but she didn't expect it to end so tensely. She walked quietly on the bustling street, the lights shining brightly, but everything around her seemed to have nothing to do with her. Chloe didn't know where she was going, nor did she know what she was thinking. Her mind was a mess. She was walking with her head down when she bumped into someone. Chloe was startled and instinctively bowed her head to apologize. I'm sorry. But she saw the other person reaching out a hand. In their hand was a cup of bubble tea and a bag of snacks. Chloe raised her head and saw Liam standing in front of her, saying softly, "You didn't eat enough, did you? I bought you some food. I was going to your house to give it to you. I didn't expect to run into you here." Liam was still saying something, but Chloe couldn't hear clearly. She just felt that the grievances of being reprimanded by her parents had found an outlet. She lunged into Liam's arms, hugging him tightly, sobbing. Liam hugged her in his arms, gently patting Chloe's back. The world outside was bustling and prosperous, but it seemed that only this place was her peaceful haven. In a quiet corner of a park along the road, the lights here were broken, and it was pitch black. Liam sat in the darkness with Chloe in his arms, drinking bubble tea and eating snacks. Liam held up his phone to shine light for her. Chloe didn't talk about the events at home, nor did she say why she was crying. Actually, she was very afraid of Liam asking because she didn't know how to tell him that her parents vehemently opposed the two of them being together. Fortunately, he didn't ask. Actually, the reason Liam didn't ask was because he already knew the Chloe family's attitude toward him. David, Chloe's father, had long opposed him and Chloe being together, but to be honest, ever since he stepped into the 300,000 repetitions, Liam had seen through everything. He didn't blame David because he realized that if he were David, he also wouldn't agree to let his daughter be with the Liam of the past. What kind of person was the Liam of the past? Timid, self-deprecating, rigid, and dull. David had just spoken to him, and he was already so scared that he didn't dare to pursue Chloe anymore. He didn't think about striving and working hard to be worthy of Chloe but self-deprecatingly chose to let go. With that kind of person, if he were David, not only would he oppose him being with his daughter, but he would also have to slap him and ask him if he was a man or not. If Chloe was a flower under the sunlight, then the Liam of the past was just a small bug hiding under the shadow of the flower. Perhaps he had good points, but only Chloe, who truly loved him, could see them. Therefore, Liam never blamed Chloe's parents. He only blamed himself. The Liam of the past was truly not worthy of Chloe. But now, he was different. He was no longer timid, nor was he incompetent and self-deprecating. He had the ability and would definitely change Chloe's parents' view of him. After eating, Liam intended to take Chloe home to rest, but Chloe shook her head, frowning sadly and said, "I'm feeling down. I want to go out and play a bit more before going home. Do you have any objections?" "No objections," Liam replied immediately. "Let's go to an internet cafe and play games." "I want to play games." "No problem. Life is all about having fun. I slept all afternoon. Now, if I go home and sleep again, what's the difference between me and a pig?" "There's no difference," Liam answered habitually. Chloe glared at him. Liam seemed to realize that he had just misspoke and quickly corrected himself. "What I mean is, how can you compare with a pig?" Chloe picked up a branch from the ground and chased after him, hitting him. The two of them ran all over the park before Chloe resentfully threw the branch at Liam. Liam leaned to the side to dodge it and then smiled and went to her side. "Feeling better?" Chloe glanced at him. "What's better? You want to make me mad." But after saying that, Chloe was also very touched. Liam intentionally teased her and made a fuss like this, which really improved her gloomy mood quite a bit. She nudged him. "I'm tired of running. I can't walk anymore. You know what to do, right?" "I know," Liam said. "I'll call a cab for you." "Call a cab? Carry me." In the end, Liam obediently carried Chloe away from the park. Lying on his back, Chloe leaned against Liam's shoulder, looking sideways at his face. She smiled. No matter what was going on that made her unhappy, as long as she met him, her mood would improve, especially because Liam's EQ was now much higher than before. Being with him, she felt very comfortable. Just thinking about her parents' opposition, the smile on Chloe's face gradually disappeared, replaced by melancholy. Liam always paid attention to Chloe's mood. Seeing her turn gloomy again, he also sighed softly. He tilted his head and gently touched Chloe's face. Don't worry about your dad's affairs. I know their attitude towards me. I have a way to change their view of me. You just need to be happy every day. Leave everything else to me, okay? Chloe blushed and leaned against Liam's shoulder, saying softly, I'm not leaving everything to you. At least in the future, I'll wash the dishes. You're not allowed to take them from me, okay? Not allowed to take them from you? In the future, all the dishes in our house will be for you to wash. Liam said with a smile. Then, what if you don't work as an actress in the future? You'll also have a skill to protect yourself so you don't starve to death. Then, let's open a restaurant. You cook, and I wash the dishes. That's not right. It seems like there also needs to be someone to serve and clean up. Then we have to hire someone. We have to pay them a salary then. Hearing Chloe mumble and calculate, Liam cut in. Why not have another child? Then we don't need to hire someone. Chloe, who was counting, suddenly paused, her face flushed red. She hit him. You, what nonsense are you talking about? This Liam, why was he becoming more and more shameless? I'm not having any more kids. I don't like kids, so we won't have them, Liam said apologetically. I never said I didn't like kids. Chloe hit him again. Can you not misinterpret my intentions? Is your reading comprehension poor? Liam was helpless. Then what's your intention? Do you like boys or girls? Of course I like girls. I don't want to raise naughty boys. Then, let's have a daughter in the future, okay? It's up to you to decide if you want to have them. Do you think it's like going to the market to buy vegetables? You can have whatever you want. That's not right. Why are we talking about having kids again? Talking to you is really infuriating. Chloe was dizzy from being led by him. In the end, her two hands took turns hitting Liam's back. She unleashed a mage combo, hitting him to the point that he was screaming miserably. Before, Liam pretending to be foolish and ignorant was all fake, but now, his begging for forgiveness was real. After all, what normal person could withstand Chloe's combo? She almost beat his dinner out of him. Just like that, while hitting and joking, Liam carried Chloe to a small, quiet internet cafe. This was their familiar territory. Before Chloe became a star, she didn't know how many times she had dragged him to climb over the wall of Chicago High School and come here to play games. Pushing open the old wooden door of the internet cafe, Chloe jumped off Liam's back and said excitedly, Uncle Wong, we're here to play. Only then did she feel a little melancholic. In her previous life, after Liam passed away, she never came to this internet cafe again. It had been 5 years since she was here. The internet cafe reeked of smoke. There were only a few people playing. As soon as Chloe spoke, everyone turned to look at her. She suddenly realized that she wasn't wearing a mask. She was about to raise her hand to cover her face to avoid being recognized when Liam stepped to block her in front of her, blocking the view of the others. The owner of the internet cafe, an old man with white hair, was eating a zongzi. He was the Uncle Wong that Chloe spoke of. He took a bite of the zongzi and looked at Chloe and Liam, smiling. It's been a long time since you two came. I heard that this kid is also about to become a star. Although the old man was old, because he worked in a job related to the internet, he also often updated his news on the internet. Liam smiled and didn't answer but said, the usual spot. Open 2 computers and add 2 bottles of Arctic Ocean soda. All right. The old man nodded, pressed the computer, and got the drinks for them. He didn't ask for ID but gestured for them to go in and play. Sitting in front of the computer, Liam was about to ask Chloe what game she wanted to play, but when he turned to look, he saw Chloe staring at him, her eyes turning red again. Chloe, what's wrong? Nothing. Why doesn't Uncle Wong clean anything? I just got dust in my eyes. Chloe rubbed her eyes. Actually, looking at him, she remembered her previous life. In her previous life, she didn't know how many times she had skipped school with Liam to come to this internet cafe. Every time, she would sit here, and he would sit next to her. Sometimes the two of them would play games together, and sometimes they would watch movies or TV shows together. Back then, every day they were happy. In fact, all day today, Chloe had felt like she was dreaming. She was reborn, Liam was alive, he confessed to her, they registered their marriage. Everything was like a dream, especially now when he was sitting next to her, when the scenes in her memory coincided with reality, giving Chloe the feeling that she had lived an entire lifetime. She took a big gulp of Arctic Ocean soda. The freezing cold gas mixed with the sour taste of oranges slid down her throat, making Chloe completely sober. She rubbed her eyes and laughed loudly. It's not a feeling anymore. This is the truth. Thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to be reborn. In a corner of the internet cafe, the two of them played a round of League of Legends. Coincidentally, no one was playing ADC and support, so they covered the bottom lane. Chloe was originally the type of person who was bad at games but liked to play them. Her skill level was average. Plus, she hadn't played this game in the past 10 years, so after thinking it over, she chose to play Yumi, a tail-riding support champion. Yumi's signature ability allowed her to attach to other teammates, without having to move around. Liam thought for a moment and then chose Callista, the vengeful spear. As soon as the game started, Chloe attached to Liam, leisurely picking up her bottle of soda, taking a sip, and comfortably leaning back in her chair. She waved her hand, giving the order to destroy the enemy and ensure the completion of the mission. After the game ended, Chloe looked at her fairly good KDA and felt refreshed. She patted Liam's shoulder. Good job, Liam. I didn't expect you to be so pro. Do you usually play a lot? Liam said modestly, I play occasionally when I have free time. Go, go, go. Strike while the iron is hot. Let's play a few more rounds. You're carrying me to rank up, you have no right to speak. Quick, start. The two of them played a few more rounds until 12 a.m. before leaving, victorious. Seeing that it was late, Liam wanted to take Chloe home, but she still didn't want to go. She insisted on staying at the internet cafe. What's there to do at home? I want to stay up all night today. There's a movie I want to watch that I haven't had the chance to watch. Will you watch it with me? Liam had no choice but to stay and watch the movie with Chloe. Uncle Wong's internet cafe was quite quiet, so there were few people who came to play all night. Even fewer stayed after 12 a.m. There was only Liam and Chloe left in the cafe. Uncle Wong walked over to the two of them, intending to ask them if they were going home, but he saw that Chloe had fallen asleep without him noticing. Liam intentionally pulled his chair closer to Chloe so she could lean on his shoulder. He looked at Uncle Wong, gestured for him to be quiet. Uncle Wong nodded and asked in a low voice, Are you two going home later? The employee who's supposed to work the night shift isn't coming. There aren't any customers now. I'm planning on going home and resting. Liam looked at Chloe, who was sleeping soundly, and then said apologetically to Uncle Wong, Probably not yet. It might be a little late. Then the two of you can just stay here. I'll leave the key at the door. Remember to lock up when you leave. Liam and Chloe were both regulars, so Uncle Wong was very assured to leave the two of them at the cafe. Before leaving, Uncle Wong turned off the lights. The internet cafe was plunged into darkness, with only the light from Liam and Chloe's computer screen remaining. The light from the screen shone on Chloe's face. Her sleeping face looked very peaceful. Liam smiled and tilted his head. Sleeping like that definitely wasn't comfortable. Chloe slept for more than an hour before waking up. She rubbed her eyes, wiped the drool from the corner of her mouth, looked at the dark internet cafe, and asked, What time is it? It's 2:30 a.m. Are you going home or not? I still want to stay up all night. Chloe mumbled, It's already 6 a.m. You've successfully stayed up all night. Let's go home and catch up on sleep, okay? Really? Chloe, still dazed, agreed with whatever he said. Liam smiled, ruffled her hair, helped her stand up, turned off the computer, and locked the internet cafe. Liam led the sleepy Chloe down the street at 2 a.m. There wasn't a soul in sight. Only a few cars occasionally drove by. The night was eerily quiet, as if this world was just the two of them. He really liked this feeling. During the time loop, he really wanted to stroll with Chloe on the quiet street in the middle of the night, but he had never been able to do it because every time it reached 12 a.m., he would return to 6 a.m. on August 25th. He simply didn't have a midnight. Although he really liked this feeling, Liam still called a cab. Back at the villa, he carried Chloe, who had fallen asleep in the car, upstairs and placed her on the bed. He intended to go out, but Chloe grabbed his hand. Liam stood by the bed, hesitating for a while. In the end, he took a deep breath. They were already legally married, what was wrong with sleeping together? He also lay down on the bed next to Chloe. Chloe reached out and hugged him. Chloe mumbled a sound, opened her eyes and looked at him. Liam smiled. Go to sleep. Good night. Yeah, good night, Chloe mumbled and then fell asleep again. Liam hugged her and also wanted to sleep, but when Chloe wrapped him tightly like an octopus, he couldn't fall asleep. The next morning, at 6 a.m., Chloe was awakened by Liam's phone. She opened her eyes and saw Liam sitting opposite her, his eyes dark and tired. The two of them looked at each other for a moment, and then Chloe suddenly screamed and kicked Liam, sending him straight to the floor. Liam, why are you sleeping with me? Chloe's face was as red as a ripe apple. Liam crawled up from the ground and sighed. Last night, I carried you to bed and intended to go out to sleep, but you kept grabbing my hand and wouldn't let me go. You're lying. How could I be that kind of person? That's definitely not me. After saying that, Chloe suddenly felt a little guilty. She vaguely remembered dreaming last night that she had turned into Yumi in the game, hugging Liam's leg and fighting alongside him in the bottom lane. Because she was afraid of falling down, she seemed to have been hugging Liam very tightly. Liam didn't know what this girl was thinking, but he felt that he was very wronged. It wasn't that he didn't want to be a gentleman. It was clearly Chloe who dragged him into sleeping together. As a result, he couldn't sleep all night and was gifted with a kick in the morning. Feeling aggrieved, Liam left the room. Seeing Liam's back, Chloe felt a little embarrassed. She had just wrongly accused him and kicked him. Is Liam angry? Should I go apologize to him? Thinking this way, Chloe quietly went downstairs and saw Liam cooking breakfast in the kitchen. Liam, about that, last night, I was too sleepy. I probably accidentally grabbed you. And this morning, I misunderstood you. I'm sorry. Liam didn't turn to look at her, just said, It's okay, Chloe. I'm not a petty person. How can I blame you? Chloe breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Liam was generous and didn't hold it against her. Liam brought out breakfast. Chloe looked at the plate of sunny-side-up eggs and the glass of milk in front of her, and then looked at the plate of sweet and sour ribs in front of Liam. Her expression immediately changed. You're angry at me. You're plotting revenge. I want to eat sweet and sour ribs too. Boo-hoo, Liam, I was wrong. I shouldn't have misunderstood you. I shouldn't have kicked you. Liam smiled gently. You really know you were wrong? Yes. Chloe nodded repeatedly. Then repeat after me. Liam is a gentleman. Liam is a gentleman. I wrongly accused Liam. I wrongly accused Liam. Tonight, Liam can still sleep with me. Sleep with you, my foot. Chloe blushed. Where did this one come from? It seems that I kicked you too lightly. Liam picked up a piece of rib and brought it to Chloe's mouth. The attractive aroma made Chloe unable to help but swallow her saliva. Just as she opened her mouth, Liam pulled the chopsticks back. Today, I was kicked and also misunderstood by you. You have to compensate me. Chloe glared at him, but then. I can't sleep with you, at least not right now. You just want to climb into bed after dating for a day, so think of a way to compensate me yourself. If I'm satisfied, I'll let you eat. Chloe thought for a moment and then ran into the kitchen. Liam thought that this girl intended to go into the kitchen to cook breakfast to atone for her sins, but then he saw Chloe run out with a knife. "Can I compensate you with a level 1 injury?" Liam quietly pushed the plate of sweet and sour ribs toward Chloe. Only then did Chloe put down the knife and smile, but she didn't eat it immediately but went behind Liam and gently kissed him on the cheek. After kissing, Chloe immediately hugged the plate of ribs and devoured them, not daring to look at him. Liam felt the moist kiss on his cheek and couldn't help but laugh. After eating breakfast, Chloe consciously went to wash the dishes. Liam didn't argue with her and sat on the sofa in the living room, browsing his phone. On Weibo, the news about the dating show Dating Today and him and Chloe had almost been completely suppressed. In the top 10 searches, there were as many as 9 pieces of news related to the scandal of that top male star, Lucas. "This Lucas is going to be done for," Liam said while browsing the news. Chloe, who was washing the dishes, replied, "Yeah, he's done so many bad things. This time, he's definitely going to prison. What goes around comes around." Liam shook his head regretfully and sighed. What a waste of the money the company and the show's team spent to buy hot searches. Chloe, who was washing the dishes, also felt very sorry and even a little regretful. Actually, with her memories of her previous life, she should have known that this Lucas was about to be done for, but in those days, because Liam had just passed away, Chloe was so heartbroken that she didn't have the state of mind to care about external affairs, so she really didn't remember the affairs of Lucas. As Liam was browsing Weibo, a knock suddenly rang on the door. Seeing Chloe still cleaning in the kitchen, Liam stood up and went to open the door. As a result, as soon as he opened the door, he heard a woman scolding, "This damn brat. Do you want to infuriate me to death? For something so big, you didn't tell me beforehand and dared to post it on Weibo? You're so good now. I want to chop you to death." Halfway through the scolding, the woman realized that the person who opened the door wasn't Chloe. Seeing Liam, the woman's expression became strange. "Liam?" Agent Lin said tentatively. "Hello, Agent Lin." Realizing that the woman in front of him was Agent Lin, Chloe's manager. Agent Lin looked to be in her early 30s, with short hair, wearing business attire, exuding a sense of energy and straightforwardness that matched her hot-tempered personality. Liam took the suitcase from Agent Lin and smiled. "Please come in first. Chloe is washing the dishes." Agent Lin was invited into the house. She looked at Liam a bit embarrassedly. "Sorry, Liam. I thought Chloe was opening the door, so I..." "It's all right." Liam smiled politely, sat down on the sofa with Agent Lin, and poured her a glass of water. Chloe called out from the kitchen, "Agent Lin, please wait a moment. I'll be done cleaning up soon." "This girl is actually doing housework?" Agent Lin glanced at the kitchen and muttered, "It seems that marriage can really change a person." "You're here so early, Agent Lin." Agent Lin took a sip of water and looked at Liam. Liam replied honestly, "I slept here last night." "Pfft." Agent Lin spat out the water. Coo. "You slept here last night?" She stared at him. Although the two of them had registered their marriage, it seemed that they were still college students. Were young people nowadays too open, or was she out of touch? "Yes, Chloe and I were out late last night. After I took her home, it was too late, so I stayed here," Liam replied. Hearing this, Agent Lin was a little more at ease. It turned out that it was because they got home late that he stayed. That was understandable. After all, Chloe's house was a villa. Having an extra guest room or two was normal. It didn't necessarily mean they slept in the same room. Agent Lin wiped off the water, picked up the glass, took a sip, and said, "So, did you sleep well last night? Why do you look a little tired?" "It was all right. It's just that Chloe woke up this morning and kicked me, so it still hurts a little." Pfft. Agent Lin spat out water again. "You two slept in the same bed?" "Yes." Agent Lin was silent for a moment, her expression a little complicated. After a while, she said, "Why do I feel like delicious cabbage has been stolen by a pig?" Chloe just happened to come out of the kitchen and heard Agent Lin say this, and she immediately retorted, "Agent Lin, even though I'm your delicious cabbage, Liam isn't a pig. Why are you talking about him like that?" Agent Lin glanced at Chloe and said seriously, "When I say pig, I'm talking about you." Chloe was stunned. Agent Lin sighed, placed her hand on the back of Liam's hand, and said, "Liam, I understand this girl's personality very well. You're a good boy, sensible and handsome. Why did you fall into her trap?" Liam smiled. "Chloe is very good. I like her very much." "She's good?" "If she's good, then no one in this world is bad." Chloe couldn't hold back anymore. "Agent Lin, why are you putting me down like this? I'm not that bad. Moreover, even if I'm really bad, I already have a husband. What about you? You're still a spinster." Hearing this, Agent Lin immediately stood up and rushed into the kitchen, grabbing a knife and pointing it at Chloe. "You little brat. What did you just say? What does me being a spinster have to do with you? You dare to say it again?" Looking at the knife in Agent Lin's hand, Liam finally understood that Chloe threatening people with a knife was inherited from Agent Lin. Chloe had already hidden behind Liam, looking at Agent Lin with a wronged expression. "You said I was bad first. Now I'm retaliating. I'm not allowed to now?" Agent Lin raised the knife. "You little brat. Okay, I was wrong. I'm sorry, Agent Lin." Chloe immediately became docile. Only then did Agent Lin put down the knife and huff, sitting back down on the sofa. She looked at Liam and Chloe, who were leaning against each other, and sighed. "It's really unbelievable that even this silly girl found a boyfriend. Why can't I find one?" Agent Lin was almost 40 years old. Don't even talk about getting married, she hadn't even had a boyfriend. Chloe ran over to flatter her, massaging Agent Lin's shoulders. "Agent Lin, in the future, you just need to be less hot-tempered and a little more gentle, and you'll definitely find your prince charming." Okay, stop massaging. Sit down and talk seriously." Chloe obediently sat down on the sofa again. Liam was touched by this scene. Chloe was much more obedient in front of Agent Lin than she was in front of him. It seemed that only Agent Lin could suppress the bossy Chloe into a docile little sister. Agent Lin took 2 stacks of contracts from her suitcase and gave them to Liam and Chloe. "This is Liam's contract with the company and the contract for the 2 of you to participate in the dating show Dating Today. Liam and Chloe looked at the contracts. Agent Lin explained some of the terms in the contracts to them. "We're not asking too much from the production team's contract. After all, we're participating in this show to suppress the scandal, not to make money. As for the contract between you, Liam, and the company, because it's something that I decided on my own without the board of directors' approval, I can only sign a preferential 6-month contract." Agent Lin looked at Liam. "Liam, after filming this show, you can go into obscurity. The company won't arrange any work for you anymore. At that time, the company will pay you a few more months of salary. Just consider it a termination fee." Chloe snatched Liam's contract and looked it over. She frowned. "Really only 6 months? And the salary is so low. It's even lower than Liam's summer job salary. A 6-month contract for a total salary of only a little over 20,000 yuan. That means a little over 3,000 yuan each month." Hearing Chloe complain, Agent Lin glared at her. "Do you still want to ask for a high salary? Azure Feather Entertainment is really black, but it's not so stingy as to begrudge that 20,000 yuan. It's already good that they're not asking you to pay compensation." Chloe huffed. She put down the contract and mumbled, "How can my Liam only be worth so little money? In the future, I must be independent and sign a contract with Liam, giving him the highest salary and making him hand over all his salary to me." Liam and Agent Lin were both speechless. After a moment, Agent Lin spoke. "I support you being independent. Azure Feather Entertainment really isn't suitable for you. When artists from other companies have problems, the first thing they think about is PR, while Azure Feather Entertainment only thinks about extracting penalty money from you. You're really squeezing out every last drop of juice. It's fortunate that Liam thought of a way to help you hide it from and shut the mouths of those bosses. Otherwise, you'd still be worried about earning money to pay your contract debt. Your contract expires at the end of the year. Try to survive until then and then find another company or be independent. Chloe nodded. In her previous life, she became independent because of Agent Lin's suggestion. Although Agent Lin was still an employee of Azure Feather Entertainment, she always sincerely cared about Chloe. Liam picked up the contract and looked over it carefully. After confirming that there weren't any traps or major problems, he signed his name. He gave the contract to Agent Lin and said, "Agent Lin, I have a small request. I don't know if it can be fulfilled. Just say it. As long as it's reasonable, I'll try my best to help you. I want to apply for 6 months' salary in advance." As soon as Liam spoke, Agent Lin looked at him with a strange expression. "Liam, do you urgently need money?" Chloe also looked at him. "If you need money, I can lend you some. Although I can't afford to pay the penalty money, I can still lend you some money." Liam smiled and shook his head at Chloe and then said to Agent Lin, "Agent Lin, I really need some money. I don't know if the company will agree." Agent Lin thought for a moment, took out her phone, and sent a message. After a while, she received a reply from the company. Okay. Liam's salary was already low. Azure Feather Entertainment, although black, wasn't so stingy as to begrudge the 20,000 yuan and not allow him to apply in advance. After signing the contract, Agent Lin talked to the two of them in detail about the content of the show. Liam nodded in agreement. After all, Agent Lin, as a professional manager, had made specific plans long ago. Liam didn't have any opinions. However, Chloe suddenly hesitated. "Agent Lin, why don't you stay here for the next few days?" Agent Lin looked at her. "Why? Your house has so many guest rooms. Can't I stay here? Moreover, every time I come here, I stay at your house." Chloe wrinkled her face. "Oh no. If Agent Lin is here, then how will I eat sweet and sour ribs, sweet and sour pork, or braised pork belly? Agent Lin will definitely not let me eat these oily foods. Could it be that I have to eat boiled eggs and green vegetables again?" Agent Lin didn't know what Chloe was thinking. She looked at Chloe and then looked at Liam, as if she had realized something. Her expression became interesting. She smiled coldly. "Chloe, I know what you're thinking." Chloe was stunned. Could it be that she accidentally said the name of the dish she wanted to eat? Agent Lin said, "I'm telling you, the two of you can be free, but you have to remember to protect yourselves carefully, understand?" "What are you talking about?" "Eat what you need to protect." Agent Lin was confused. Chloe said, "Oh, and just in the moment you need to enjoy, I have to make a reservation in advance to protect you." "I'm so angry. Why do you do this? If you could just leave, then why would you say that you're still in touch? But you're just using sweet words to make me not think badly, right? But no matter what, it's all lies. The fact that you can't even fulfill that, it means that it's not me anymore. Is it that your heart has already left without my knowing? I don't have confidence in the future anymore. I will give it up. I will never fall in love again. If so, I'll be happier." "What are you protecting?" Chloe was confused. "You're not allowed to talk about this topic." "Let's talk." "I just said it, I want it, can you not give?" "You want someone who makes you fall in love in a second, not a long story. I am the type that you must find a love in a long time. But a long love story is not the love that you want. It hurts when I understand that it is not me anymore. I am tired, I do not want it anymore. What is a beautiful love if one side is hurt? Can you meet in the future?" "No need. Let's stop it here. So I can let you go. Stop talking about it. Why do you keep bringing up a thing from the past? That you were hurt. Do you want me to say that I also want to be protected by you? But it is not that way. I always give my everything to you. And you cannot be able to do what I want even a little. I give up. You're so stupid to be with him. Are the lines and story correct? The lines and story are mostly correct, but there are some minor errors and places where the flow can be improved. Here's a revised and more natural sounding version. Revised lines. Protect what? What are you talking about? I thought you were asking in that moment and you wanted my bodied. I am so crazy. If you did not really mean, if your true emotion is not for me in that moment, why did you say all of those sweet things? I don't feel loved anymore. What should I expect from a person who does not respect me and gives only pain? I think I could guess who are the people that you're with. If you have said I never meet her but just in that moment and all those words for nothing, then why did you even start all of these things? If it is just for what you want from me, I won't give. What is love without respect? I just remember the past. How could this be? How could someone lie to me like that? If so, why have you said all of those promises? What's the meaning of all of that? It doesn't matter what I say, you won't understand me. Why would I waste my time with you anymore? You were just stupid to be with her.